These are...
The camera's recording.
When she walked in, I knew it.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
Good morning, y'all. I hope y'all experience the passion that I'm about to give y'all right now. Today, Mrs. Abigail Paulus, a judge at Richmond's Manchester Court Building, looked at my case. Sit down, buddy. Go ahead, play around. Looked at my case, felt my passion, heard me testify that there is a lady named Shelby Hughes harassing my kids, harassing my family, intimidating them with a vehicle. So much so that all three of my kids were crying after the incident, and so was my wife. I am a man who has a family in Blackwell community. Abigail Paulus and every complicit person who has been intimidating my family, who has been giving us hell, who has made it impossible for us to be thriving and prosperous in my community, who has refused protective orders. Abigail Paulus, a judge in Richmond's Manchester Court. Hold on, slide to the side. Keep the camera on. Abigail Paulus, listen to my testimony. Listen to my wife's testimony, and I'm sure I can understand where she's coming from and who she votes for and why she did it. But she looked me in my face as I am passionate about a situation about my family and told me that I cannot have a protective order against a lady who tried to kill my kid, who told me that I cannot have a protective order against a lady who has already had a protective order issued against her. Shout out to Richmond police officers for doing their job. Every Richmond police officer that helped me and tried to protect me and my family from the nonsense, from, to be honest, the Democrats in my city, the liberals in my city, the progressives that I protected for 9 years straight, who now try to demolish, diminish, and kill me and my family for my beliefs. I want to make Abigail Paulus famous today. She is a judge in Richmond Court District who looked me in my face and told me I, as a man, as a father, as a husband, cannot protect my family. So now today, Shelby Hughes, who's my neighbor, will have the authority to get her weapon back. Will have the authority to get her personal space back, to do whatever she can to kill, destroy, and disrupt my family. If you see this video and you fuck with me, or you don't care what I think, but you rock with me and you think this is unfair, make Abigail Paulus famous today. She is a judge in Manchester, Richmond. She sits on a bench and her job is to protect these citizens. And I'll tell you one thing I know. I saw her watch and I know how she votes. She is a clear demonstration of what's wrong with this city, what's wrong with this community, what's wrong with this country because of her politics. And I won't share with you what I saw, but I can guarantee you she votes for Democrats. Shout out to all the Democrats who rock with me, who support me but have a difference of opinion. Make Abigail famous today. Make Judge Abigail Paulus famous today. Make every person who disrupts families, who destroys families, who kills families, who cancel cultures people, make them famous. If you hear it in my voice, I ain't shutting up. Shelby Hughes is a dangerous individual. Abigail Paulus is a terrible judge. Is a terrible judge. She looked my wife in the eyes and said she don't have the right to protect her family because the lady took her car and drove it aggressively in front of my kids, trying to intimidate my 3-year-old. Come here, buddy. Come here. We're not talking about a 17-year-old boy. We're talking about this thing right here. This thing. After she tries to hit him, she doesn't say, I'm sorry. She doesn't say, my bad. She doesn't say, I didn't see him. She does just like this. You see how I'm looking at you? She looks at me just like that. I explained that to Abigail Paulus. And what does Judge Abigail Paulus do? Look me in my face as she demonstrates who she votes for, as she demonstrates who she cares about. On her watch, showed me everything. She walked in there with no sympathy, no compassion. She works in a community that she's supposed to be protecting. And if anything happens to my family, blame Judge Abigail Paulus. Fuck you.